Radical.
Welcome to part 2 of Radical Rapid Fire Comment Response for February 28th through March 6, 2022. Short comments, quick replies. Reptilian Richard Ramirez, otherwise known as Rrrr. Been meaning to ask your opinion on this. What's your take on these weird gaming reaction YouTubers and this crying on camera at a reveal? In my opinion, this is the cringiest shit I've ever seen in my life, and it completely invalidates my will to take said person serious or watch their videos. Yeah, when it comes to these reveals, one thing is, if it's a trailer to something, like a YouTube trailer that's not live, then chances are they've actually seen it before and they've rehearsed at what point they're going to cry. And, I get it. I understand it. You can get excited. You can get very excited when something is coming back, for instance. I'm excited that Bleach is coming back. I love the anime Bleach. But I tell you what, I damn sure didn't cry at the news of that. Right? There's certain things you cry at in excitement. Maybe finding out that you're going to have a kid, for instance. That's legitimately something that people are going to cry at. But, and crying and putting all that into it. Not only is it some of the worst content you can ever see on YouTube, but actually, like I said, like you said, like we both say, it's some cringy ass shit. Andy Arthur 2007, Earthworm Jim 4 hasn't even been worked on. All they have is a trailer with Earthworm Jim running across a beach. I said they released a new trailer to Andy that he's running across a junkyard. Every couple years they just release a Earthworm Jim trailer of him running across something. Yeah, they just dangled that carrot. They dangled that Earthworm Jim. They dangled that worm over a lot of the Amico cult. Hey, Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim. But ask questions about Earthworm Jim, how much is completed. Let's change the subject. But, it's coming out, definitely coming out. No, do not trust these liars. No one should have trusted these Amico liars like Tommy. Mal's Detergent. The only thing to me is now we have these good rappers at Super Bowl. It's only going to go downhill from here. This opens the door to have someone like Lil Pump or Cardi B to ruin halftime. Geez, if they have Lil Pump there, I tell you who they probably will have is that one. What's that gay rapper? Industry or whatever that song is. The one that you can't get away from on the radio. The one that, has a beat where you're like, okay, this is not too bad. But then, they beat that beat into the ground. I'm not saying it's a terrible song or anything like that. But that's probably going to, if they have rappers, they're probably going to have that gay rapper. Nothing wrong with being gay, by the way. Nothing wrong with being gay. But the fact that you're going to try to be a hard gangster rapper and gay, I'm like, I don't know. Just doesn't really work. But yeah, Snoop, Eminem, Dr. Dre. There's never been a higher concentration of legendary rappers at one point. So unless they bring some of them back, I don't know. I mean, what would they headline the next one with if they had one? Jay-Z. It would have to be Jay-Z. You think about like rappers that weren't included there. Yeah, it would have to be headlined by Jay-Z and then like a lot of people on his labels, I guess. Tosin Stardom. The NFL should have considered some Hollywood talent instead for this, so let's see now. How about Tracy Lords, Corey Feldman, Gwyneth Paltrow, and David Hasselhoff? What would they be doing? Playing music? Rapping? Of those four, I think probably David Hasselhoff would be the best rapper. I don't know. I don't see any of them like as solid rappers. What would they all come out in the Knight Rider car? Would they be like, I don't know, Tracy Lords? Oh, wait, didn't she do like the special kind of movies? Corey Feldman, one of the Coreys. The other one's dead, right? And Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow is known for bleaching her backside. Isn't that the most recent thing I've heard about her? That she bleaches her backside? And then she's married to that guy from Coldplay. Larry Bender Jr. He got 370,000 views on the last I'm Being Sued GameStop video, and his current ones were lucky to break 30K, so no wonder he's beating that dead horse some more. Well, yeah, I mean, I agree that Camelot 331 Cody specifically right now is on YouTube just for clickbait purposes, just to get as many views as possible. And when people bring up views to me, that's a perfect example of a channel that is, the views don't have any indicator on quality. I mean, yeah, the views are going down like a little bit because some people are catching on, But there's still so many stupid people, thousands of stupid people that are tuning in to Camelot 331. Yeah, so yeah. Now it's not to say that I mean, it's not to say like there's any kind of indicator on quality and views. Like, well, Larry, there's probably a lot of channels out here that are a lot better than your channel. They get a lot less views, and you might be better than some other channels that are getting millions of views. So views, believe me, no indicator, no solid indicator of quality whatsoever. I can't say that enough. Penguin Wizard. I can't imagine why his old boss would care about someone like him making up stories about the job they worked at. I can't imagine it either. I can't imagine it. There's another similar comment from Jeff on this too. His old GameStop boss hadn't thought about him since 5 minutes after he quit. How often, if you're a boss, do you think about the people that you fired or left? There's people probably that worked for you, and it could have been a year ago, and you're like, what? If you manage a lot of people, you forget some people. So we have to believe that not only has he not forgot Cody, but he's now doing death threats against Cody. That's what Cody wants us to believe. At this point, it's a parody. Cody should just come on a social media and say, hey guys, I need views. So all my views are fake, pretty much. They're fake. They're not real. So I hope everyone understands that it is fake. You can still enjoy them, but they're fake. I'm fake. I'm basically fake as fuck, like Radical Rick said years ago. Rune Mamba. I thought of Hard Knock Life. It's a hard knock life for us. See, it's in my head now. It's a cool beat. 2, when I heard that Kodak Black song on the radio. That was a great beat wasted on a trash song. Hey, Rude, how many times have you heard like a good beat from an old rap song that was a great song, and then you hear the current rapper and you're like, why? Why did they waste that? Or they do it in rock riffs a lot. You hear like a classic rock riff or something on a rap song, and then you're like, why did they use that? It's been done well sometimes. Like, for instance, we brought up Knight Rider. The Knight Rider theme on the Timbaland song and the Knight Rider theme on that Busta Rhymes song years back. Both great uses of the Knight Rider theme. Is there any other songs you can think of with that awesome Knight Rider riff that are good or bad? I can only think of 2. Venom Hernandez. Tony Khan adding more action figures to his AEW Universe mode collection. Yeah, when you got that kind of money, you transfer from the games to real life. Now, there's certain things that you do in games and collect items and achieve things. I'm honestly moving away from video games right now, but I'm taking some things I learned from video games and applying them to real life as far as unlocking different things, unlocking modes, unlocking things. It's very helpful to apply to your real life. As far as collecting modes, I tell you what would be fun. Like, one thing I like to collect is experiences with trim. So having just a huge house, maybe like a mansion. I tell you, my dream is being like Hugh Hefner, having basically a mansion, having multiple houses, and just, housing your little hot figurines in those rooms, and then being able to go in those rooms and play with your figurines. Man, I hope I achieve that before I die. David C. Got a Buick LeSabre 1999 Limited for $1,350 with around 160,000 miles from a used car dealer. It's rough here too, but I'm fortunate to have paid that. I'm thinking about that, and I had a title, plates, and a 2022 tag. Yeah, that's amazing. That's an amazing deal. That car, I looked at it, very high review scores. And, 160,000. Some of those Buicks, I mean, they're kind of sketchy, but some of them are rock solid. So it's a 90s Buick. I mean, the thing is like a tank. So if you get in a wreck, you're going to be safe. Albert Menendez. The sport I'm most passionate about is bodybuilding. The past Olympia I miss, but I make it a point to watch the final callouts of the big three IFBB men's bodybuilding shows. The NY Pro, the Arnold, and the Olympia. In the early to mid-90s, ESPN would broadcast the Arnold and Olympia, but these days are done. Despite zero mainstream coverage, bodybuilding is bigger than ever, with a $1.5 million purse and the winner of the Olympia. When it comes to bodybuilding, that's an interesting thing to follow. Just for the amazing bodies and what some people can achieve if they really put a lot of time, effort, nutrition into it. I would argue when it comes to bodybuilding, bodybuilding is far more difficult than something like the NBA. I mean, throwing a ball in a hoop versus completely changing and transforming your body, going through the pain of that. And not to say that a lot of these basketball players don't, do a lot to keep their bodies in amazing shape. I don't mean to like lessen that. But, how many people can put their body through the pain and have the endurance to form their bodies to look like these bodies you see at these shows? And the thing is, it's kind of, I mean, I get how it's not as mainstream because, well, it's basically, bodies flexing and stuff of that nature. But when you look at actually sports that you can apply to your real life and aspire to, I mean, some of us will never be able to, throw a perfect pass into an end zone. Some of us will never be able to, kick a perfect field goal or, nail a half court three. But you know what? Bodybuilding is one of those things to where if you put enough time and effort into your nutrition and your routines, then you can have an amazing body. You can have an amazing body. You can build yourself an amazing body.